Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and you guys are going to like this one today. Again, I love taking you guys along with me on my personal collecting journey. You all know that for me, I say it all the time, open quotes, all paths lead to Jordan, close quotes, in the hobby for me. That's the way I collect. I don't tell anyone else how to collect, but I've got a treat for you today. I know we're not to the end of 2022 yet, but I know my budget, I know where I'm at, so I am done buying big Jordan cards until 2023. So I decided to put together my 20 biggest Jordan cards that I purchased in 2022. We're not going to talk about dollar figures. We're not going to talk about how much I paid, how much they're worth now. Some are up, some are down. Some are right where I bought them at, and some no others have sold because I'm trying to find the SSP, the super short print, the rare stuff, right? But we are going to look at some badass cards. We're going to look at some beautiful cards. We're going to recount what I bought, why I bought it. We'll look at pops and different things like that, what the sets mean. And as I've said on numerous videos, a lot of people are saying, the hobby's going in the wrong direction quick. Look, again, if you've got the liquidity, it's a great time to buy, in my opinion. I would never tell anybody specifically what to buy, but if I was going to buy something, one of the safest places to put your money within the sports card hobby, in my personal opinion, is Michael Jordan. And so 2022 for me, I did a big video on this. It was very popular with lots of input and comments from people that watched it. My biggest push in 2022 was to move more of my collection out of what it was in and into Michael Jordan cards. And so you're going to see some really big cards today, especially card number 1. It's one of the 3 biggest cards in my entire collection, so stay tuned till the end. Card number 1 is a monster, an absolute monster, and it's worth more than like cards 2, 3, 4, and 5 combined. So number 1 is very special. But I did not dig into my bank account or go borrow money on my house or go, sell things in my house and start renting so I could buy these Jordan cards. I actually sold cards that I was into in order to get into these Jordan cards. So I basically took card money to buy more cards. They just happened to have Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the GOAT, on the surface of it. 2 big liquidations for me in the year 2022. The 1986 Fleer PSA 10 set, which I've talked about ad nauseum. I won't go into more detail on that. And then I liquidated 130 1997 PMG red basketball cards, all slabbed, all graded. I've got four or five left. So I sold 125 in 2 really huge, one, the 86 Fleer set through PWCC Premier and Weekly Auction, the PMG Reds through 2 huge private sales. And so that built up a war chest of funds, and I literally just turned it around. I did pay off a home equity line of credit on my house. I renovated the exterior of my house, built a little pool house for my kids with card money, which felt really good because it's the first time I've ever really sold big cards in the hobby. I parted with those 2 monstrous sets, did those 2 things to kind of calm down, settle my life, kill some debt, and then poured the rest into these Jordan cards, which you're about to see, because I am still extremely bullish on the hobby long term, especially Michael Jordan cards. That's just me. That's just my opinion. You might be screaming at your screen on your phone or your desktop right now saying, I'm an idiot for putting this much money back in. But like I said, I always put my money where my mouth is, and I'm always very transparent with you guys. This is where I decided to put a great deal of my card money in 2022. So let's not delay anymore. I've got a really cool little PowerPoint pulled up for you guys. My 20 biggest Jordan cards purchased in 2022. There's 20 of them, so I'm not going to take too much time on each one. We'll just look through them, and hopefully the pictures are clear and you guys enjoy seeing some big Jordan cards. So first card. The first 2 cards are actually going to be almost like stepbrothers or twins, right? So the 1997 Z-Force Rave number 23. This card is serial numbered to 399. Anytime you're talking about a Jordan card serial numbered from the 90s, it usually has meaning. These Rave parallels are no exception. Again, this is a parallel, not an insert. If you don't know the difference, go back and check some of my videos in the past. The BGS 9.5, it is a mixed gem. When I say mixed gem, again, I've got videos out on this as well. I mean, it has one 9, it has one 10, and it has 2 9.5s. So it is a 9.5 with a 9 and a 10 subgrade. So that's what I call a mixed gem. It is a pop 11, and there are none higher, no BGS 10s out there. I acquired this card at a private sale along with card number 19, which we're about to look at. And I vividly remember it was right before I walked into church on Super Bowl Sunday. I won't forget it. I got a text from an awesome collector in the hobby saying, hey, look, I'm looking to move these 2 cards. Here's my price. I didn't even bargain because his price was actually very fair for these 2 cards, and I picked them up. So card number 20 is this Z-Force Rave number 23. Card number 19 is, like I said, stepbrother, right? Or twin brother. 1997 Z-Force Rave number 190. This is the Superman. It's a subset card, but this is a parallel. Really beautiful card. I love the way any Jordan card that has yellow and black on it, it just seems to me to pop really well with the red and white from his uniform. That's just what I see when I see it. This one is also a BGS 9.5 mixed gem. This one is a pop 19, none higher. And as I mentioned, I got it in the same private sale from the same seller. Again, which, is a great time to re-mention. The more people you know in the hobby and the more people that you can establish a relationship and learn to know and trust and gain their trust by helping them or moving cards to them that they're looking for, or even putting them in touch with people who have, cards for sale that they're looking for. I've established some really great relationships in the hobby, which led to me getting a direct message on Instagram for this particular card number 19 and card number 20. Had it not been for the relationships that I had established with a lot of other big Jordan collectors in the hobby, I never would have gotten the opportunity to purchase these cards. It's not like the guy gave them away to me, but sometimes deals don't come your way if you don't, if you're not out there and vocal in the hobby and participating in the hobby. And so that's where, card shows and Instagram and YouTube and all those things come in. So I was lucky enough to get that direct message with the chance to buy those too. All right, card number 18 on the list. I have a great story about this card. My first card show I ever went to was the Atlantic City National. This is the 1997 Planet Metal, Metal Universe Planet Metal number 1. It's a PSA 10 pop 42 card. I actually looked for this card. This was one of the cards on my target list when I walked into the convention center in Atlantic City. I didn't see this card anywhere in there. And then after 3 days at the show, I was worn out. My back was broken. I had just torn my hamstring because I'm an old man. I'm sitting in the Philadelphia airport. I'm an OCD nervous Nelly, so I'm like 3.5 hours early to the Philadelphia airport because you can't fly out of Atlantic City to Baton Rouge. I'm sitting in the Philadelphia airport, probably eating a bunch of crappy food and ready to vomit. And I'm on eBay just farting around. And lo and behold, I had a safe search. And this Planet Metal PSA 10 popped up, and it was buy it now best offer. And the price on the card, buy it now, was a good price. It was below comps. And I was like, damn, should I just click it? Because I didn't blow my budget at the Atlantic City because I didn't really see that many cards I was looking for. And I ended up putting in an offer, and the guy accepted my offer right off the bat. And so happy to add this one to my collection. As you guys know, I've said this many times, all paths lead to Jordan. That's my kind of approach to collecting in the hobby. Ultimately, Jordan is where all my money is going to end up. Or in my pocket, one of those two places. But I prioritize Metal Universe cards over every other product in the hobby. And then right behind that is the 95, 96 metal cards. But Metal Universe cards mean more to me than any other cards. And this is one of the great insets from 1997 Metal Universe that I was happy to pick up. I guess that would have been the first day of August. I guess that is the day that I flew back from Atlantic City. Next on the list, card number 17 is the 1996 Finest Refractor, often referred to as the Gold Refractor. It's card number 291. I am showing you this card with no coating as God intended. Just kidding. I know there is a raging debate out there amongst 90s card collectors whether or not you should leave the coating or peel the coating. If it's a refractor, well, I'm always peeling the coating. If it's a refractor, I'm especially peeling the coating because you can't see the card refract without peeling the coating. And so I've got this as a 9.5 min gem, and of course I've noted without the coating. And without the coating and a 9.5, it is a pop 28, and really is one of Jordan's really, really good looking refractors from that 1996 Finest set. And I acquired that card in a private sale on the way back from Mississippi at one of my daughter's soccer. She plays for a semi-pro team. And I was in the vehicle on the way back. Same thing. I got a message from a guy on Facebook And he's like, hey, I heard you're looking for this card. I've got one. It's 9.5. He sent me pictures. I vetted the guy. I found out he was legit. I checked his eBay account. I checked his Facebook page. I, ran his name by a few other guys in the in the Jordan collecting world, and he checked out, and I picked it up. Real simple. The deal got done in the car on the way back. No, I was not driving, so my dad was actually driving, so I was free to do deals and buy Jordan cards in the passenger seat. It's funny how the car ride back can be a very expensive one. Next on the list is the 1997. Again, there's that set, that Metal Universe, except this is the Metal Universe Championship set. Metal Universe Championship Hardware, number 5, BGS 9.5. This is a min gem, but a very condition sensitive card. It is a pop 6 with none higher. I did acquire this card in a golden auctions. Like I said, I'm a huge PWCC proponent. I buy the majority of my cards on PWCC, more so than even eBay anymore. But I have bought numerous cards off of golden auctions and never, ever once had any problems at all whatsoever. I've bought some really big cards off golden auction. Usually if I'm buying a card on golden auctions, it's a very special card and a very important card to me, because normally I try to stay on platform with PWCC, but I've had great customer service, great communication, great shipping. Everything with Golden's always been perfect, start to finish. So that's another one that I picked up. That 1997 Metal Universe Championship BGS 9.5 Min Gem Championship Hardware. Top 15. Card number 15. 1997 Ultra Stars number 1 PSA 10. It's a pop 20 card. I acquired this one as well in a private sale. A lot of you guys I've heard lately about the Ultra Stars gold cards. Those cards have run crazy hot. I think the Jordan just tipped just over 100,000 for a BGS 9.5 Ultra Stars Gold. I might be wrong on that. Maybe it was a PSA 10 that went over 100,000, but this is just the Ultra Stars. But even in just the Ultra Stars that you see on your screen in a PSA 10 slab is a very rare, very tough pull, and it is a pop 20 card. So I was happy to add this card for right at 5 figures. In fact, I think it was exactly 5 figures. It's probably worth less now, as is probably the case with a lot of these cards. Yes, even Jordan is not immune to the slight dip in prices in 2022, but that is why I went so heavy, as you can see, in 2022. Next on our list, we have got the 1996 Fleer Thrill Seekers number 6. There's a couple of Thrill Seekers out here. This is the 1996 copy. It is also a BGS 9.5 mixed gem. Not the most beautiful card. And we were talking about this in my Jordan group about, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Some of them seem to be, and maybe it depends on the lighting and where the picture's taken or the angle of the card. And again, if I'm talking fast, forgive me. I'm chugging C4 right now. I'm so excited. When I get to show off my Jordan cards, I get very excited. So I apologize if I'm talking really fast or I sound overly excited. I am. This is the BGS 9.5 mixed in. But what I was getting at is some of these cards appear darker, almost deep blood red. And then some of them are super bright, vibrant red. I felt like mine's kind of right in the middle. But it's funny, if you compare different pictures of this card, they almost look like, some of them are different shades of red. It's really strange. But this is a pop 7 and a 9.5. There are no BGS 10s out there. Acquired this Thrill Seekers as well in a private sale. And you'll see this theme going on, when you're dealing with very high-end cards. Again, I can't stress enough, build relationships with people, ask questions, answer questions, respond to every single direct message. Some of the cards that you're about to see on this list came from a direct message that came from somebody completely out of nowhere on the other side of the country that I'd never talked to in my life, that I assumed was trying to scam me, and it turned out to be a quite legitimate deal. So that Thrill Seekers is right there on our list. Let's move on, number 14 on our list. The 1998 Skybox Premium Intimidation Nation. I toyed with collecting this entire set in high grade, and then I gave up on it and decided not to do it. I decided to put my money back into Jordan and Jordan only. I started thinking about buying Keith Van Horn and Antoine Walker Intimidation Nations, and then asked myself and looked in the mirror and said, Cajun Cardboard, what the hell are you thinking? Just go buy more Jordans. And so this is the 9.5. Tough to find these cards in high grade. The card's worth significantly less today than what I paid for it earlier in 2022. But you know what? NFS. not for sale. None of these cards are for sale, so I don't give a damn. I'm a long-term hold on all of these cards. Collecting Jordan's my passion. Honestly, the further they go down, the more I buy, as long as I have the funds to do it. But like I said, I'm pretty tapped right now for 2022 on the Jordan high-end stuff at least. So I'm done. I'm done with this year. But like I said, a few of these cards have definitely gone down in value since the time I bought them. I call it like I see it. It is what it is. But I still feel okay with my price point on every single card you're about to see on this list. This is a Pop 11, none graded higher. I bought this one on the PWCC Weekly, which is a great source and a great location to find some of the bigger Jordan cards out there. 98 Metal Universe linchpins, one of my favorites, right? This is one of my favorites. Jordan's in the middle of a step back where he's clearly going to get about 6 feet of separation to get off that fadeaway jumper. He's wearing the Hot Top Concord 11s. This is a BGS 9.5 copy. It's a Min Gem. Again, Min Gem means there's probably 2 9s on it or 3 9.5s and 1 9. This one's 3 9.5s and 1 9 for corners. It's a Pop 26 card. Acquired this card in a private sale. If you haven't looked at this card, I've done an Explore the Card episode on this card. If you don't know what Explore the Card episodes are, those are episodes I release every single Friday. I used to release them on this channel you're watching right now, the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, but they have since been moved over to the Luka Nation Network. So go subscribe to the Luka Nation Network if you haven't yet. These videos featuring a Jordan card every Friday. It's a different card every Friday. They release every single Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Time. So go check those out if you haven't. But I did an episode on this one. It's a beautiful card. There's actually little punched die-cut holes in the shape of pins in the card. And I don't know if you can tell on your screen. If you're watching on a phone, you probably can't. But one of the more intricate, interesting Jordan cards from the 1990s. This is the Metal Universe linchpins. And again, another card from that Metal Universe set. You guys know how I feel about that. Card number 12 on the list. Skybox Premium makes an appearance. This is the 1995 Skybox Premium Meltdown. It's a PSA 10. It's a Pop 16. It is from the PWCC Weekly. That was a couple weeks before the National. I took the opportunity. I thought there might be a dip there as far as eyeballs with people gearing up for the National, wanting to spend all their money at the National. So I picked up 3 really big Jordan cards at the PWCC Weekly Auction that was ended just a couple weeks before the National, or maybe even the week before the National, I think is what it was. This was one of those monsters. And this card, for those of you who have not held one, really, really cool card. And I wish I had a picture of the back of the card on here because the back of the card's gorgeous. It looks very boring on your screen, but when you hold it in hand, you can really see. It's almost like there's a melting metal wall behind Jordan and it's being melted, hence the name Meltdown. But it's got that foil stamp in the top right that's very susceptible to surface, ripping away and leaving, some of that gold foil torn off if it's been against another card for too long. This card is horribly difficult to grade. So finding a PSA 10 is a very, very rare endeavor. But that card was card number 12 on the list. Card number 11 on the list. Again, this is another card. It's an insert. It's a Big Men on Court. There's another die cut that most people are more familiar with, Big Men on Court, from a different year of Skybox Z-Force. But this is the 1997. It's a PSA 10, which makes it a very low pop card, Pop 33. I picked this one up in the exact same PWCC Weekly as the Meltdown that you just saw. So that was a big one. Again, I like this card because I can tell that's Hakeem Olajuwon's right arm because of that giant elbow pad right there on your screen where he's sort of not really trying to defend Jordan as he shoots a left-handed layup. But that's card number 11 on the list. Number 10, we're in the top 10. Same exact auction, guys. Same PWCC Weekly Auction. 12, 11, and 10 all picked up in that same PWCC auction where I decided to go hard. This is the Skybox Premium Player. Card number 1, it's a PSA 10. It's a very rare low pop 12 in PSA 10 condition. So that's card number 10 on your list. Card number 9 on the list is one that I'm probably the most excited about. For those of you who don't know, this is the cut above. I know a lot of people have seen this card. It's very unique. It's got the saw blade in the background. It is often counterfeited. I've verified mine's legit. That is one thing that I will tell you guys before you buy 90s cards, especially some of these cards that we know are often counterfeited, like the big men on court, like the cut above. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that are, obviously the 86 Fleer, right? But in the Star, 101, a lot of these cards are reprinted and or counterfeited. Please do your research and run it by some really sharp, card authentication experts out there. I'm not one, right? I have a lot of these cards, but guys, I tell you, I never would have bid on this card without making damn sure it was the real deal before I did it. And as much as I like PWCC and Golden and Heritage and Mile High and Robert Edwards and all these people, they've got counterfeit cards listed on their auctions. I don't know how else to say it. Again, I don't expect them to be able to pull every single counterfeit card when they're getting tens of thousands of cards. It seems weekly, but it happens. And so if you're ever going to spend, 4, 5, 6 figures on a card, for God's sakes, please do your due diligence and make sure you're buying a real one. But this 1996 cut above is a mixed gem, 110-19. It's a pop 29 card, which sounds like a high pop, but here's the kicker. There's only one PSA 10, and I know who's got it, and I know he ain't selling it. So I was stuck with the BGS 9.5 as a consolation prize, which I will very happily accept. This one I did happen to pick up on eBay, and I believe this is the first card I've picked up in 2022 on this list so far at an eBay auction. I think the Planet Metal PSA 10 from 1997 Metal Universe was an eBay buy it now. So again, look how deep we are in here, and I've only picked up 2 of these cards from eBay. Next on the list, card number 8 on the list. Really one of my more recent pickups. Picked up this 1985 Bulls Interlake. I've got the 86 Fleer PSA 10. I've got the Panini foil sticker PSA 10. I've got the, what am I forgetting? I needed the Interlake, I need that Entman's, and I need the Star 101. But this Interlake pre-rookie card, or whatever the hell you want to call it, I don't know. Everybody's got an opinion. This thing's freaking giant. If you see me talk about it in my mail day, the card's gigantic. If I didn't have a PWCC vault, I probably wouldn't have bought it because I wouldn't have known where to put it. It's like a damn gigantic, it's like the big golf checks that those golfers win when they win tournaments, right? There's these big giant fake golf checks that they hold up for the cameras. But this is a humongous card. It's almost like a comic book. So BGS 9.5 makes it, it's tougher to grade. The bigger the card, the harder it is to store, harder it is to preserve the corners and the edges and whatnot and the surface. So BGS 9.5 Min Gem, it's pop 36, none higher. Picked this one up in the PWCC Weekly Auction, I believe in October. Card number 7 on the list. We're getting to crunch time. We're getting to some pretty big cards here. This card I've got mixed feelings on. It's a PSA 10, but is it, right? I've got a PSA 9 copy of this card as well. This is the 1997 Ultra Star Power Supreme. It's a PSA 10 Pop 15, okay? The problem is there's some clear surface damage in the top left corner. Well, it's not a corner, the top left portion that's die cut, which is not unusual. So that sometimes happens post-slabbing. I know there's been a lot of talk lately with Nat Turner posting a picture of some PSA 10 that's missing a panel or whatever. Sometimes the damage to these cards occurs after it's been slabbed. And so, as you can see in the top left corner, it's missing a little bit of that light blue foil kind of stuff on the surface of the card where it's kind of chipped away. I've got a PSA 9 that honestly, I'll be honest with you, I think the PSA 9 looks better. But this card right here is I'm a grade snob, so I had to have it in a PSA 10 because I had the Star Power Plus and I had the Star Power Regular. So I had to get all 3 of those cards in PSA 10 because I have a horrible card addiction and I like to complete sets that I've started. So that's why I picked up that Ultra Star Power Supreme. That was card number 7 on the list. What is card number 6? Card number 6 is one of my favorite cards on this list. This is the 1997 Upper Deck Diamond Dimensions die cut. It is serial numbered to 100. It's crazy die cut all over the place, which makes it a very tough grade. BGS 9.5 Min Gem makes it a pop 13. This card ran hot along with, the grand finale, along with the Ultra Stars Gold. It seems like these Jordan inserts, here and there, different ones just kind of run really hot and make really crazy runs in value, for a month or 2 or 3 months at a time. And then they sort of settle down and they find a new floor and then years go by and then they rinse and repeat and the same thing happens again. Another card that I picked up from Golden Auctions that somebody alerted me to. The only Diamond Dimensions, die cut card that I own. But again, it's serial number to 100. The cool thing about this card is it is hand serial numbered numerator and then, computer stamped denominator. So 52 out of 100. I'm sure if I did some fancy math, I could figure out a way to turn 52 into 23. 5 minus 2 is 3, 2 is 3. I don't know. There's some way to do that, right? Everybody tries to make their serial number mean something, based on the jersey number or the number of years or scoring titles or something. So card number 5, we're at the top 5. Okay, we're at the top 5. Card number 5 is a monster. It's the 1997 Flair Showcase Legacy Collection, row 0, serial number to 100. So 2 cards in a row that are both serial numbered, both to 100. This is a PSA 10 that makes it a Pop 16. I'll be honest with you, I like the card. I'm really happy to have the card in my collection. I am a inserts over parallel guy, first and foremost. You guys know that. I say it all the time. And I'm also some people just fawn over the Legacy Collection cards. I like them, but I'm not in love with them. This card is good looking. It's got kind of that mojo, pattern in the background. I guess you can kind of call it that, almost like a basket weave it looks like in the background. Really great looking card in hand. I did get a chance to hold this card in hand before I sent it to the vault. So don't get me wrong, very proud of the card, very much like the card. I very much appreciate, the rarity and the importance of the card from 1997 Flair Showcase, especially in a PSA 10 grade. But I'm an insert over a parallels guy. But that's the first of 2 Legacy Collection cards you're about to see, including card number 4. 1996 Flair Showcase Legacy Collection, row 0. Again, serial number to, I think I got the serial number wrong. Sorry, this should be serial number to 150. I think I put 100 on there. That is my mistake. Serial number to 150. That's a mistake. So, but believe it or not, this one in PSA 9 is more valuable than the 97 row 0 Showcase Legacy Collection serial number to 100 PSA 10. So that just lets you know 96 trumps 97. Clearly, maybe it has something to do with vertical versus horizontal. I don't know. But I absolutely love the light blue script on this one at the bottom. It is vibrant. It is very bright. It's almost neon blue, and it just jumps out at you. But Flair is really a cool product. I mean, I think even the base Flair cards are undervalued. I think those are just really glossy, gorgeous, shiny base cards from the 90s. I can't, again, Flair is awesome. Flair Showcase is the next level, and then Legacy Collection just takes it to a whole new level, value-wise. But we're down to the top 3. I told you card number 1's a banger. Card number 3 and 2 aren't bad either. But we've done, 3 consecutive serial numbered cards in a row. Card number 3 is also serial numbered, and it's not a coincidence that as we get towards the top of the list from a value perspective, all the cards are going to have serial numbers on them. This one's no exception. This is the 1997 SPX Grand Finale. Die cut, it is serial number 250. I don't have the back to show you, but it's a big time card. It's PSA 9, which makes it a Pop 5, and acquired this one in a private sale, like all 5 of the cards in the top 5. Again, I don't know too much about the SPX, but this is another card. I should have added this on there. This is another card that went on some crazy run, and part of it is when some of the bigger collectors in the world decide that they want to chase a set, you start seeing picture after picture after picture, and not just Jordan, right? Ron Mercer, Kenny Anderson, Ray Allen, not Ray Allen, but whatever, Antoine Walker, Keith Van Horn, Reggie Miller. You start seeing Iverson, Kobe. You start seeing grand finale, and then that causes the Jordan to run. And then sometimes it works in reverse, right? People are like posting the Jordan grand finale, and when you see that card, people start chasing the set. And so it's almost like they each fuel each other. But this card went on a very hot run. I think I'm probably doing okay on my price point on this card. In fact, I know I am. I'm in a very good spot on this one, along with a few of the other ones. But like I said, it's not really about the numbers because none of these cards are for sale. And, a few $1,000 here and there in 2022 doesn't really matter when I'm not selling these until 2000 never. So card number 2 on the list is also serial numbered, albeit to number 74. So this card is where things get a little haywire. This is even a bigger card than the grand finale. It's the 1997 Finest Embossed Gold Refractor with very little greening. I know it's hard to tell on your screen. I've held this one in my hand. It does look a little bit green, like a Hulk Jordan shooting, but I promise you it's not. It's just really tough to tell, but certainly I inspected this card in hand before I moved on this card. But Card serial number to 74, which is pretty damn low for a 90s Jordan. It's finest, it's embossed, it's gold, it's die cut. It's like it checks damn near every box of weirdness you could possibly check. So PSA 9 makes it a Pop 13. Acquired this one in a private sale as well, which leads us to card number 1 on the list. You guys have probably seen it in one of my mail days, and it was featured in Basketball Card Fanatic magazine when there was an article done. It's a card that I'm super proud of, right? So, like I said, it's one of my 3 biggest cards. It's the 3rd biggest card in my collection. Actually, it's probably the 2nd biggest card in my collection now that the 86 Fleer continues to swirl down the hobby toilet. It's the 1997 Metal Universe Championship PMG number 23, serial number to 50. It's in a PSA 8, makes it a Pop 6. You got Jordan in the skyline. It's got the scope pattern behind it, which Select stole very unceremoniously in the late 2000s, more recently. And that scope pattern just makes this card really cool, with Jordan pretty much jumping out of the city of Chicago in the background. Like I said, serial number to 50 from 1997 makes it pretty damn unique. Right behind the red PMG that I own, I would say this is my 2nd most highly coveted card. Really like it. You guys know I've talked about it ad nauseum. The Metal Universe is my favorite. And again, this is one of those rare cases where parallels trump inserts is in Metal Universe. That's where parallels trump inserts for me. And this is card number 1 on the list. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. There's really not much from an education standpoint. Hopefully this is just entertaining. I mean, I know I like watching other people's lists of big cards that sold or big cards that are bought. Let me know what you think. Which of those 20 cards do you like the most? I put them in relative order of how much I paid for the cards, not necessarily the order based on the value of those cards today. Like I said, if I had to guess I didn't look at comps of any of these cards, and it's not like I check comps daily on these cards because, like I said, Cajun Eternity, baby. I'm holding them like diamond Cajun hands, copyright Cajun Cardboard. I would say probably 15 out of the 20 are worth less today than the day that I bought them. And that's just part of having faith and being bullish in the hobby. If you believe in the hobby long term and you've got the ability to ride this thing out, I guess I'm just going to go down with the ship. I believe it's a great time, guys, for us to put some money into some pretty special cards. Again, I'm not going out there and buying a bunch of Joe Burrow Prism or Select Base rookies or, even Luka Doncic, who I think is transcendent, or Zions or Ja Morant's or anything like that. I'm putting it in Michael Jordan. So to me, this is like artwork. If you noticed, I put the pop on the screen for a reason. You didn't see any high pop cards. You didn't even see any reasonable pop cards. These are very rare, SSP cards from the 90s, especially in the grades that they're in. And, hopefully it holds out well in the long run. Again, I'm having such a fun time in the hobby collecting these cards. And I wish I had more money to buy more big cards like this, but I don't, which is why I started a PSA 8 Michael Jordan collection, just so I could keep buying cards but not feel it quite as bad. And so it's what is it? It's November 12th. I'll probably post this in the next few days, so it's going to be relatively recent. I'll tell you, I've moved a bunch of cards over into the PWCC Weekly Auction. Right now, I'm looking to sell a big chunk of cards to replenish a little war chest of funds, and then go back at it and buy some more Jordan cards in Q1 2023. I don't plan to quit, God willing. Hopefully everything stays great in the real estate market. That's the way that I feed my kids and pay their tuition and put clothes on their back. And, and hopefully I can buy some more Jordan cards. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know also if you guys ever have any ideas for videos. You don't have to comment on the YouTube channel. Just DM me. I'm easy to find on Instagram. I'm Cajun_cardboard. You can't miss me. So shoot me a DM if there's ever a video out there you want me to make, or if there's a topic you think I should discuss, or if there's a question or an issue in the hobby you want me to talk about. Just shoot me a DM. I'm happy to do it. Literally, notwithstanding the video you just watched, usually I don't put much effort into these videos. I just kind of speak from the heart, and if I don't know something, I tell you I don't know it, but I just hit record and I just start talking. So it's no skin off my back to kind of pick a topic out there. And most of the time, I'm literally just kind of putting it out there to be discussed and sharing it with the viewers and the listeners, so that we can get feedback and input from you guys in the comments and kind of take it from there. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe and like and the notifications button, all that stuff. It helps me grow the channel. At some point, I'm going to try to monetize the thing with some sponsors and some partners, but you have my pledge. You will never get an ad in the middle of my videos, period. End of story. You have my word. I am not going to sell to YouTube, so you get to watch, Viagra and toilet paper commercials right in the middle and interrupt me screaming at the screen. You're always going to get me start to finish, but I might have a little ad at the beginning and at the end one day if somebody thinks that I've got enough sway to merit being a partner with them. So anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.